What's up? You got Dana here. This is my Summer Madness 3 prediction blog. I'm going to run down this card real quick, but before I start, I'm just going to go ahead and say that when I first saw the card, I was a bit apprehensive, not because of who was on the card, but just because there are a couple of wild cards on this card. Ill Will's never been on a stage this big, so that's a bit iffy for me. Serious Jones coming back didn't really have me that excited. I was looking forward to seeing Lux, but I could understand why he's not coming back, and maybe there was a pricing issue. I'm just assuming. Obviously, I don't know. Another thing was Sue Surf and Hitman not being on the card. I mean, I understand there's a situation with Hitman, so there's that aspect of it. But Sue Surf not being on the card was actually pretty surprising, and not having those two battle together on the card was surprising. So yeah, let's get started. Ladies first, Miss Hustle versus Jazz the Rapper. If I had to predict this, I'm definitely leaning toward Jazz winning this battle. I really feel like Jazz is one of the best writers, male or female, arguably the best female writer rapping right now in Queen of the Ring. I think that both of them have something to prove for the ladies. I think it's a great look that they're going to be on SM3. However, I don't feel like Hustle is going to be a slouch in the least. I just feel like when it comes down to the bars, Jazz is going to have a lot more than she will. But who knows? It could go either way. Next battle, we have Daylight versus Swave. I feel like if Daylight takes this completely seriously, doesn't really joke as much, he could win this. However, I'm leaning towards Swave. I feel like he's got a lot to prove. I think it's a great look for him being on SM3. I think, you know what I'm saying, he wants to solidify his spot. So I'm leaning towards Swave on that battle. Next, you have O-Red versus Big T. I think this battle has the potential to be the best battle on this card. Arguably could be one of the best battles of the year if it goes off without a hitch and both of them are at their best. I think they're both great performers. They both have bars. This is going to be great live. I'm actually mad that I'm not going to be able to watch this live. But it'll translate on camera, I'm sure. I think, like Swave, O-Red wants to solidify his spot as like one of the guys to beat, and I think this will be his opportunity to do so. However, if I had to score this a battle, I'm going to edge it actually to Red because of the fact that I feel like he has the most to prove. Not to say that Big T is just going to be easily beat, and for all I know when this comes out, O-Red doesn't rise to the occasion. However, I just feel like we haven't really heard much from O-Red lately, and we just saw Big T against K-Shine, and he sort of dropped the ball in that battle, even though he was really good. Like I said, his first round has tons and tons of replay value, but like I said, past the first, there really wasn't much to talk about outside of, you know, bits and pieces of sunshine. Anyway, next battle we have Math Hoffa versus Serious Jones. Why is Serious Jones on the SM3 card? Who could y'all not like? Really, I'm sorry, I didn't like him during SM2. I felt like him and Charlie had one of the weaker battles on the card. I mean, I think it's cool that he could come out of retirement and still be somewhat competitive, but you're battling against a guy who pretty much could care less at this point, I think. Well, not necessarily care less, I'm not going to say that, but he was battling against a guy who didn't come at 100%. I think that because of that performance, Math will have a lot of material for series, and because of the fact the series doesn't write, I think that Math is going to be at the advantage. So I see him winning that. We have JC versus John John the Don. Now, when I first saw this battle, I thought, oh, JC gonna wash him. He gonna wash him. Now I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking to myself, well, if he comes the way that he came against Hitman, if he comes the way that he came against X Factor, if he even comes the way that he came against Bricks, then JC's in for a rough night. However, with all that being said, I feel like all JC seems to be doing is writing bars, rapping, writing bars, rapping. I think all that time he spent hopping around the country sparring with people might be to his advantage, even though it wasn't crazy comp. I think the fact that he doesn't rely on personals is great. I think that he's been working a lot on his filler and stuff like that, and I think that will play into him catching another win. So if I had to score that battle, I would score it to JC. But like I said, John and Don won't be going out without a fight. It's SM3. Everyone's going to come A1, I believe. I'm hoping. And Ill Will versus Tay Roc. I'm not really going to get into the logistics of this. I think it's going to be a wash. Ill Will to me is all performance, no substance. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm sure y'all gonna tear me a new asshole in the comments. But I'm not convinced. I feel like Tay Roc's one of the most original guys in URL as far as like how he writes and how he puts his stuff together. I think that, yeah, he's gonna out-rap that man. And yeah, he's gonna wash him 3 rounds. And then last but not least, we have Calicoe versus T-Rex. I think this will probably be the most viewed battle just because they're both superstars in URL. Obviously, the last time Calicoe was at Summer Madness, you know what I'm saying, he got that crazy ass whooping from Loaded Lux. So obviously he doesn't want to repeat it last year, and freaking T-Rex is like the homecoming queen of fucking Summer Madness. Like, he always puts on really good shows at Summer Madness. So I think that both of them, and both of them too, like, they haven't really been doing anything of late. So I feel like maybe they've been saving up all their best shit for Summer Madness. So yeah, if I had to score this though, I think, like I said, I am rooting for the guys who have a point to prove, and I feel like between the two of them, Calicoe has has a lot more to gain from this, and I feel like he's probably more hungry for this W than T-Rex is. I think he don't want to repeat of last year, and it's not that he will. It's not like T-Rex is going to be able to use the same angle, because like I said, their rap styles are very similar. The gun bars, the aggression, how they give it up in the ring is pretty similar. Despite the fact that T-Rex has hometown advantage. So maybe in the building there will be people like they always do that say that a battle went a certain way. But I feel like on camera, when we see it, Calicoe will get it. Those are my predictions. Let me know what your predictions are down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and before I go, I think it's really dope that Smack took the opportunity to acknowledge the fact that Night of Main Events 3 was full of subpar performances from guys who shouldn't be giving subpar performances. And the fact that somebody can admit that maybe, you know what I'm saying, things didn't go the way that they should have gone, making a vow to not just rely on names is a good thing. So, you know, seeing guys like Ill Will on the card, even though he's a wild card, it's like, look, he's making a conscious effort to give guys on the come up the opportunity. And also, it's a testament to everybody right now in the PGs and who I guess have been rapping for a while and still haven't made top tier status yet. There's hope still that you'll make it. I feel like everybody who's out there trying to get these spots should just spend the time getting battles, getting good footage, and blogging more, and just being more than just rappers, because we all know at this point that it's entertainment. And if you're not entertaining outside of the rapping, I mean, come on now. It just is what it is. Like, that's just the climate that we're in right now. Maybe it'll change, and maybe it really will just be about raps soon. But just this step that they're taking in this direction is a good look too. So thanks for watching. Peace.